Good Saturday morning, everyone. I'm WCIA 3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. We are going to talk a little bit about the chance for a few stronger storms on the board today. So what we're going to do is cover some things here and take a look at stuff. As folks are logging on, if you can let me know in the comments where you're watching from and any questions you may have, that'd be great. I'm not seeing if things are working quite right, so what I want to do is just make sure that things are on real quick before we get started here. And let me know questions you have and whatnot for the chance for a few strong storms later on today. So let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, we're going to talk about the chance for some of these stronger storms in parts of central Illinois later on early this afternoon into perhaps the early evening hours as far as it goes. Lots of folks checking in. Good. I'm seeing that. I don't have a number. Normally my graphic system gives me a little number how many folks are checking on in. So folks are watching and keeping an eye on things for us here. Let's get started and go down to business. Here's a look in Champaign right now. Very cloudy, showery day for us. That's the case for many spots in central Illinois. We're looking here at temperatures and seeing upper 50s, already some 60s creeping on. And we'll watch temperatures closely, as that may be a sign of how instability plays a role in the chance for some stronger storms this afternoon. 51 in Jacksonville. It's 66 in Paris right now. Cooler to the west. The cooler you are, the lower the chance. In fact, if you're in the 50s through the day, like some of us will be, not overly worried. Where we start to see these middle 60s, maybe even upper 60s creep on in, that will be a sign that maybe our instability values will climb just a little bit as we go through later on today. In the meantime, showers continue to push on through, very light and scattered in nature. As expected along the Illinois River, west of Interstate 55 was where the heaviest rain was this morning. That's where the area of low pressure is still spinning, pivoting over north and east Missouri here. This is the source of our energy and wind shear for the chance for some of these stronger storms today. It's a low threat, but it's not zero. That's why we always take the extra caution and just let you know about what's going on today as far as it goes. Here's a look at the planner for the day. For the most part, many of us will see just rain. Maybe some breezy winds mixing on in. The thing is with some of these stronger storms, we may not have a lot of lightning with them. So we would guess they'd be strong rain showers. But maybe a few strong storms do mix on in. Temperatures are climbing into the 60s for most of us here, with the strong storms seeming to lunch hour into the afternoon. The winds, though, 15 to 35 miles an hour. That's our baseline for the winds. Some gusts could be a little higher. They're out of the east this morning. They will continue to slowly turn by tonight, being out of the south and the west. Let's talk about the high temperatures, and this will give us a picture of where maybe the better chance for instability values to climb a little bit will be. 66 in Pontiac and in Paxton, 68 in Danville. Where you see these mid to upper 60s for highs, that's where those better ingredients may come together as far as instability. Look here to the west, though. Beardstown, the high today, 57, 59 in Jacksonville, 62 even in Springfield, where we see low 60s, upper 50s, not worried. But we start to see some more mid to upper 60s. Sullivan, Shelbyville at 66. We'll be at 68 in Tuscola, and in Paris, 69 in Rockville, Indiana, and in Robinson. Now to future tracks, so we can talk more about the timing of some of these stronger storms here. Notice this morning, scattered showers in nature. By the middle of the day here, we'll say about 11 o'clock noon, we may see some isolated showers and a few rumbles of thunder develop here. Really by about 2 o'clock, we'll start to see a broken line of some of these showers and maybe an embedded thunderstorm lifting through the area. And at 2 o'clock, it looks like it's from about Peoria to Bloomington to Monticello to Mattoon, Charleston, and off to the south and east toward Robinson. That will lift to the north, and this is where we'll watch for perhaps the stronger storm threat to materialize. Ahead of it will still be showery and cool. If we can get a little sunshine this afternoon, say for Bloomington, Champaign, Paris, Danville, Watseka, and Pontiac, that would help throw a little more fuel on the fire. But in setups like this, it doesn't take nearly as much as it does, say, in a May classic severe weather event. We're talking a very minor event for us here as far as it's going. But notice by 4 o'clock, they're swinging on through. Severe threats done by this evening. Some showers, though, will continue tonight through the day tomorrow as that area of low pressure passes pretty close to overhead and moves off to the east. As far as the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, we're only a level 1 out of 5, a 1 out of 5. That's the lowest you can be here, a marginal risk. We don't even have a slight risk. That's a standard severe weather risk. It's a very conditional threat if some of those ingredients can come together. And we're looking at areas primarily from about McLean to Clinton to Monticello to Tuscola, Arcola, to Charleston and down towards Marshall and points to the north. If you're watching in Springfield, Taylorville, Effingham, Decatur, Lincoln, Jacksonville, I'm not really worried about you. I'm really not overly worried about the areas in green either with that level 1 risk, but I'm going to watch it. That's how I would suggest here. This isn't a day where we're expecting a high-end impacting event. We just have the conditional threat that we may get 1 or 2 of those stronger storms in place. And with the wind shear in the atmosphere, that area of low pressure passing overhead, and maybe enough instability, the chances there we may see a brief tornado or 2. I'm not worried about hail with this event. If we do get a little bit of hail, it might be quarter, half-inch, pea size at best. But I don't think we're going to see any, frankly, the way things look. We already are seeing the winds and some wind gusts without the rain and storms being a little higher, 15 to 35 miles an hour with some higher gusts. So if we do get a stronger storm, it may help mix some stronger winds down of 50 to maybe 60 mile an hour. So we'll watch that too. And some localized flooding, ponding on roadways can't be ruled out with any heavier shower or storm, especially where that heaviest rain has already been this morning. So again, maybe a brief tornado or 2 if we can get things to line up just right, as long as some gusty winds with those showers and a few storms that roll on through. Main window of opportunity, let me back that up here. We've got 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Really prime time probably holds off until about 2 p.m. the way things are looking. But we'll keep that window from 12 to 6 for a stronger storm or 2 to mix their way on in. Let's look at the ingredients here. We're looking at wind shear and instability. Those are 2 of our more important ingredients. Moisture is there, and we've got some lift in play. Those are the other 2 we look at. So we want to focus on shear and instability. What you're looking at here in this graphic is these areas, these lines. That's showing wind shear in the atmosphere. It's rating it yellow, low, red, medium, this purple color, high. There's a lot of wind shear as this area of low pressure is just off to our west here. Watch what happens as we go later on this morning into the afternoon. We start to get some of these blue values that pop up underneath. That's a sign of some instability in play here. It won't take much, but we still may not even have enough as far as it goes. We notice as we go into the afternoon, 2, 3 o'clock, some of those instability values are starting to show up more scattered in nature, a very conditional threat. The interesting thing I've noticed in some of the data this morning, though, is while the instability may start to come up, the wind shear may start to go down and push a little more off to the east. So it may be entirely on the table that this could end up being maybe an Indiana conditional threat, but we still have just enough right at that borderline where maybe enough things can come together to give us a strong storm or 2. So I think today you can go about your business, don't have to worry about anything, but just have a way to get weather alerts. The WCIA 3 weather app. Maybe you have the TV on for the Masters. You'll see the crawl at the bottom of the screen if something's issued, if we have to. And I hope and pray that we don't have to, given the Masters today. But if we have to, we'll cut in for tornado warnings and keep folks updated. We'll do coverage on our digital platforms if there's any warnings. And you'll get those push alerts too for maybe a brief tornado, perhaps a gust of wind in areas along Interstate 74, north of Arcola, Tuscola on Interstate 57. So we'll watch it and keep you updated on that as far as it goes. This is the area of low pressure that's giving me my headache today as far as it goes. We go into tomorrow. We're still seeing showers from it, but the chance for a strong storm done by 6 o'clock. And we may very well walk through today with nothing. I'd like that. I think a lot of folks would like that. We just can't rule it out. A very conditional, localized threat where maybe something can get going with just enough wind shear. Maybe if there's instability values could come up, but they're pretty dismal at best as far as it goes. So we will watch as far as it goes. So that's what we'll watch here as far as the threat moves on in. Moving ahead then, the week ahead looks dry if you're looking for that here. We'll be looking at dry weather thanks to high pressure, more than likely Monday through Friday. I can't rule out a spot shower, but we've just got to get through the little headache of an event today. All right, I'm going to back this up and bring it full screen for some of the folks who may not have a chance to see it. Again, we're streaming live on our digital platforms, so that is Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on the app. Some folks have said that maybe they're not seeing the graphics as clear as they'd like. That could be just an internet bandwidth issue or whatnot, but we'll watch it and keep it updated. So that's what we're looking. It's a low threat. I'm not really worried about today. Today is one of those babysitting events for us in the weather department. For our viewers, it's a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the lowest threat, but not 0, 5 being the highest. We get a lot of 1s, we get some 2s, every now and then a 3 and a 4. Very rarely do we get a 5. So it's a low to very low threat, maybe a brief tornado or two. This would not be an event that brings us a strong long track tornado. Not worried about that at all. But there's enough spin in the atmosphere where if we can get a little pocket of instability in place and they overlap in a timely fashion from noon to 6 p.m., really probably 2 to 6, that may bring that opportunity as far as it goes. I will back it up too, just for some of those folks to see the SPC outlook. And maybe what some of it is that angle on the TV isn't showing up quite as great here. But you can see there's that level 1 marginal risk. Again, not worried about Springfield, Taylorville, Effingham, really probably not even Decatur and Lincoln. Mattoon, Charleston, probably just north of you, Paris, Danville, Watseka, Pontiac, Bloomington, Champaign, and Petersburg, Indiana will be where that potential threat is. I'll run through the future track as well, just to give you another update. We are seeing scattered showers out there. Some of y'all are watching and are keeping an eye on those showers. We've got some reports. We appreciate that. We appreciate and value your reports, first off, whether it's rain, snow, which hopefully we're done for the year. Then later on today, if something were to happen and we're on Facebook Live and you saw something, just let us know. We appreciate that from our weather watchers and our viewers there. Here we go. By notice 2 o'clock, we start to see that broken line of some of those reds peeking on in from Bloomington to Monticello down to Mattoon, Charleston. That would be the source of where we might get a stronger storm to mix on in. But if there's showers ahead of it, that may nip away at the instability. So if that's the case, that's good. We'd like to keep it that way, but we'll just have to wait and see before all is said and done. It's a very conditional low-end threat, but it's not zero. I would rather you know about a low-end threat than not know about it. That way you can prepare and be aware as far as it goes, but it looks like it's going to be a showery day. Here we go, 5 o'clock. Starting to see a little sunshine and some drier weather, and that's good. By that time, the severe threat pretty much over for the area. But showers will wrap back on in as we go into the evening hours and into tonight. Kind of a cool, showery, damp type of event for us here in central Illinois. All right, that is what I got for y'all. Again, I'm not worried about today. More than anything, I'm just watching today, keeping an eye on it just in case something happens. We've got your back. You can go about your business today. You got a football game going to, or you're going to, shopping or whatnot. If you've got the WCIA 3 weather app and you turn that on, have your locations enabled on that, if something's issued for where you're at, our app will let you know. You also get those wireless emergency alerts for tornado warnings specifically, flash flood warnings, not for severe thunderstorm warnings. But if there's a severe thunderstorm warning today, the type of day where maybe a little area gets some damage. This is not a high impact event, very low. But low is not zero. We treat it as it's still a threat, and we want you to know about it more than anything. All right, download the app. There you can go. You can search WCIA 3 weather and taking care. I'm seeing some cool chatter in the comments about the April 3rd and 4th, 1974 super outbreak event. Those are some historical events. This is not one of those types of days, first off. Not at all. But we'll watch and kind of keep an eye on maybe a brief tornado here. Those historical events, I usually do some stories on them. So we covered the Sodoris tornado back in 76. We covered that tornado went on to hit Ogden in 76. We've got the Ogden tornado anniversary coming up in a couple weeks from now. In 1996, we did the tornado event in 63 that hit Sodoris. We did a tornado event, of course, in 1974. That's the one some folks are talking about. That hit north and west side of Decatur. It hit Bismarck. It hit Tolono had one. There was a fatality in Tolono. There was a fatality in Decatur from that. And that was the start of the big super outbreak that devastated areas from Indiana all the way down to Alabama. It started right here in central Illinois. So if you're looking for stories of that, you can go back to our website and just search for some of those. We do that. So thanks for everyone checking on in here. Again, one last check of the SPC outlook. It is low. It is a sharp line here. I will mention that. The weather, though, does not follow lines and county lines and city limits and things of that. So can I rule out entirely? I saw someone asking Seth down in Robinson. Can I rule out entirely Robinson? No, but I think your threat's about as close to zero as you can get without being there. And it's still pretty low here for Paris, Champaign, Bloomington, Pontiac, Watseka, Danville, Petersburg, Indiana. Those would be the areas we watch more than anything. I really think I can say no threat today for Jacksonville, Springfield, Taylorville, and Effingham. I think we're okay. You'll still get some rain showers, but as far as that strong storm threat goes, right on the line there, Lincoln, Decatur, Mattoon, Charleston, you're darn close to 0. We'll watch it, but I think that line will start to maybe pick up in intensity just ever so slightly as it moves past you to the north and to the east. There we go. We're watching for the time frame of noon to 6 o'clock. We're going to be here at noon just watching things here. I'm going to go home and get some breakfast, then whatnot. And then I'll be back at noon, kind of babysitting, watching the latest data. I think if something happens, it's our prime time window of 2 to 6 o'clock, which happens to be the same time as the Masters. I hope I don't have to cut into that. I got a lot of... I'll find the weather trolls pretty quickly, the keyboard warriors and whatnot, if we have to cut into that. So more than likely, today will be just fine. We just can't rule it out. It's a level 1 out of 5 risk. It's low, but it's not 0. And so I will repeat that statement. It's low, but not 0, but it's still a threat, so we're going to let you know about it as far as it goes. If you're looking for drier, cooler weather, Monday through Friday of next week, highs in the 50s and 60s, lows in the 30s and 40s. As of now, I'm not worried about frost next week. We'll have to watch Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. We may get close in a few spots, but we may stay just warm enough. We're kind of on the dividing line there now that we're in the growing season. We'll keep you updated on that. Seems like next week will be dry, maybe a spot shower somewhere on Monday and on Friday, but things are trending quiet as far as it goes. That's what I got for you. It is 9:50 right now. If we have to, we'll cut back on our digital platforms for any coverage. If we really have to, we'll let you know on TV what's going on. But if you got the app, great way to stay connected for this low but not 0 conditional marginal low-end threat. We'll keep you updated. You can get the full forecast updates on the website, WCIA.com/weather, and on the WCIA 3 weather app. Great ways to stay connected. That app will send you a push alert if there's anything issued. I think today something else also was not the type of day where we would get a weather watch. We would probably just go straight from nothing to warnings if we get a warning here. It's such a low-end conditional threat. I just don't see at this point a necessity or a need that the Storm Prediction Center would want to issue a severe thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch. I think it would just be so conditional, so marginal. Maybe we get a warning or two. We'll keep you updated, though. We'll be watching for you. Take care. Have a great rest of your Saturday. This weekend is showery, I know. Don't blame the messenger. Blame the weather. But we'll keep you updated on the chance for strong storms. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you hopefully no earlier than 6 o'clock tonight for the news after the Masters. But if not, we'll be here. We got you back. Take care.